I've always been a fan of Justin. Love Justin, you know. But he's just not looking very good in this game. All right, getting into this replay, we're going to be looking at Gen.G. We're going to see kind of what's changed, see, you know, how Justin being on this team has kind of changed their dynamic, or if their dynamic has changed, you know. I haven't watched any of RLCS recently. I've had other shit going on, so I haven't been able to keep up with current events, but, you know, we'll see what's going on here. Immediately, let's look at this. I really like Daniel's decision as well, but, you know, we'll break all this down. Obviously Justin doesn't have any options here, so he's forced to go back a little bit. Daniel doesn't have boost, so Daniel in this situation just wants to invoke some sort of reaction out of Justin, which he does brilliantly here. Justin, I don't really like this decision. I mean, this is something that is very obvious in the situation, is that Daniel can't really do much. The best thing to do in this situation is to do a jump and follow through with the ball instead of doing a dodge. I think he was just really heavily expecting the 50 here. This is a very late game in the series, so we could have some panic, you know, some mental playing a part in this decision as well. You know, it could be really anything, but this just seems very rushed. Beast mode is probably going to have a really good opportunity. I know that we're not going to have any teammate for Gen.G that's able to follow up immediately, so Beast mode is going to be able to get to this first. This is unfortunately not a very good touch from Beast mode. MB is probably going to be able to get it immediately, and Atomic isn't going to be able to do anything immediately either. You can tell Atomic is already backing off here. How did I know that? Just paying attention to kind of what space these players can engage with based off of what's going on in the play. If Beast mode would have got a different touch, if Beast mode would have got a more controlled touch, you know, maybe we see Atomic being able to play the space a bit more confidently. MB probably takes a little bit more time before he comes off because of the control from Beast mode. That didn't happen, which is why we're seeing an MB go. This is a good decision from MB in this situation. This is really good. He noticed that lack of control. He wants to take that space immediately. If he's too slow to that space and the ball is a little bit slower, maybe we see an Atomic come in, but this is just inherently risky. There's not much value that you could really get out of this. I mean, Daniel should have already grabbed boost by now coming in. Daniel has not yet grabbed boost coming in yet. He's playing that lane a little bit slower, which is okay. I think he's noticing the slow pace of play from MB. MB doesn't really have any options. Beast mode didn't get a good option, so I think that's why Daniel's taking a little bit of time here. There's really no rush, but, you know, obviously I speak a lot. We want to grab that boost, get into the play so that we can pre-position to places that are going to be really beneficial for us. So that would have been good off rip. We'll see what else is going on here. I like that. I like how Atomic is kind of playing off here. I know we're supposed to be looking at Gen.G, you know, but, you know, I want to talk about everything. Let's get all the information out of this, but I really like this from MB. He doesn't want to hit out here. Hitting out here is a really bad idea. Atomic's just going to take control. Atomic could play pacing here, or not pacing, spacing. So he could space out a little bit more, give himself a little bit more cushion so he can deal with that. But even if he doesn't deal with that, Daniel probably will. Daniel would really be the problem here. Now, Cheese would be able to mark that space somewhat, but it would just be kind of risky. So MB playing this is really good. He's playing within a little bubble on his side of the field here. If we look at the bubble, we can see there's a good amount of coverage here. So he's really safe playing it like this. You know, Cheese can play this entire area however he wants. Justin probably look for boost, and this time we can see Justin trying to replenish boost. Wants to play a really safe option here. I don't disagree with this position. This position is really good, really solid. He's going to be able to cover a lot of options from here. He could play into the corner here. If the ball goes this way, Cheese will play it first. Justin will come up as like a support. If that doesn't happen and it goes past Cheese, maybe you see Justin come through, Cheese come out, maybe play a support or play in. It just depends on the pressure from NRG here and what they decide to do. But that's not happening. So I like what's going on here. This is really good. I like Beast mode playing that 50. That's really good as well. I like how Cheese is playing this slower in the corner here. He's very safe in the corner. He's going to force Atomic to use some resources here, which is really good. You know, talk about this a lot. You know, there's not many good options past Atomic here. And even if he does get past Atomic, Daniel's looking quite threatening, and Justin doesn't want to come out too much. Like, Justin can play a closer support here, but he kind of wants to wait for MB to get a little bit more into a firmer position, a stronger position before he does so. So by Cheese doing this, he's kind of preventing all of the shit that Justin could have to wait for. You know, this is just a good decision as a player with the ball in this one position, because he's able to play this pacing. So it's going to let MB come back. By the time this play comes out, MB's probably going to be in a pretty beneficial position. As we can see, you know, MB's playing it a little slow. When a player plays this slow, they're kind of implying like, hey, like I want to take a cut here. And the deviation that typically happens from this point is NB will either slow and then try to play that point, or he'll go this way. It's looking like he'll end up going this way. You can see that deviation happens because he's not able to get anything into play. It looks like a little bit, let's look at this again. But ideally, like this is good by Cheese. I like this. We force out some boosts from Atomic. Now, granted, Atomic is also doing something good here because he's also slowing the play down by him being in this position, which is also going to allow his teammates to come back. But, I feel like this is just one of those stalemate situations where you guys kind of just have to play the 50 and then play the options that are like come afterwards, which is okay. Like nothing wrong with that. But Justin, when you're going forward and suddenly you have to go backwards, typically to me that just signifies that a player is going too quick into a position. So if we look here, Cheese is still able to play this. I feel like us pushing even further is just a really bad idea. Now imagine if Justin were just sitting here, or even here, or maybe he even like backs up to this position and plays this, which puts him a little closer to the wall, which makes these options easier. You see what I mean? All of this movement was unnecessary. I find this problem in a lot of older players. And I don't mean old as in age, but I mean old as in they started RLCS like, a good amount of time ago. When the game could be played in this way, and players still, I still see this out of some players, but I find in some of the newer players that have come into the scene, they don't do this as often. This like just all continuously moving for no reason. But and I say this sometimes, and some people really disagree with me, which I'm unsure why, because it always ends up that they're facing the same path that they would have after the movement, right? So like what I'm saying is like in this position, if Justin were to sit here, it is the same as him now coming out like this. It is the exact same. He would be able to come out from this point and deal with all of this without all of this extra movement, which is incredibly important, because if we have to move backwards like this, like imagine if Daniel was closer here, which is absolutely something that could happen. Justin's not going to be able to do anything, right? Because he's turned around here. But if we play like this, we have that permanent offensive option. We can push along this line, whatever. We don't have to sit exactly right here, obviously. That is something you can do. You can just sit completely still right here. That is a possibility. But ideally, you want to play dynamically based off of what's going on in the play. So if we notice this pops out a bit more and we can see that Atomic or Cheese is going to have something beneficial, Justin could creep along this line and be in a really good position to immediately take the ball. That is way different than facing backwards in our corner. You know what I mean? So this is something immediately that if you notice you're having this issue, you've got to stop it as quick as possible. You only need to move if it's actually necessary. If the play is saying, hey, you need to move, that's when you need to move. In this situation, I just don't see it. I don't see any point past this point. And, I'll explain what I'm seeing as well. I don't want to sit on this issue for too long, but I do want everyone to fully understand exactly what I'm seeing. But in this situation, there is only one player. There is only but so many options, right? Justin can cover, if he's sitting back here centrally, like right here, he can go up connector here and he can play any option. He can play this whole corner option. He can go into corner here easily because there's only one player. He doesn't have to beat a support player here. So there's only one person that he has to beat in this situation. So getting in this, corner is going to be really easy. He's accounting for the fact that maybe the ball pops out. Like maybe this 50 just goes complete shit and it goes like high and up this way. He's still accounting for that here. He's still accounting for that. He's also able to just go straight and play support options for Cheese. He's able to get this out immediately, and he's able to come in here. Now, notice when he starts pushing in here, all of this is dead. Immediately, all of these are dead, right? And then now, every single one of these options is dead. The only options Justin has is up corner and up into connector. That's it. And, sometimes you're going to leave some dead options. Like, for example, let's say it's very obvious that Cheese is going to get a good 50. Sometimes you can neglect these options because they're not very likely, and you just want to play options that are going to be successful in the situation or have a chance of being successful, right? So that would make sense, but that's not the case here. So we're playing disproportionately to what is actually happening, which I find a lot in a lot of different Rocket League players. But I didn't mean to yap too much about that, but I think that's good information that people know or to let people know. Some people seem to have this misconception that I think that players should be slow or some shit. I completely disagree. You know, I've said this in other videos. I know some people don't even watch all my videos before formulating the opinions they do, which is okay. But I feel like everything in this game is dynamic and situational. And I feel like there's some situations in where I would say, yes, you should be playing slow. Just as I think there are situations in where I would say, yes, you should be playing fast. You can't play slow. And both of those, you can identify the variables in the situation that tell you which one you should be doing. I try to tell people like, hey, this is which one you should be doing. Some people say, oh no, that's just bad in general. And I just completely disagree. Oh, I like that decision a lot. That's really good. Just playing a little bit patient here. You know, I also like what's going on NRG side with beast mode. I do like how he played that initially. He could have executed a little better, but that's okay. You know, we're trying to look at the big picture here. I think ultimately, conceptually, what he was trying to achieve there, he did perfectly. I like that a lot. Justin really trying to play the 50. He notices he's not going to be able to. Atomic is playing as well. He's waiting it out, waiting for Justin to hit the ground. Justin knows, you know, he can't do shit here. So really good by Atomic. I like this boost grab. This is a good boost grab. We do have someone on orange. Coming back, yeah, right there. Just spawned in, so this is a really good boost grab. I didn't know for sure that guy was gonna spawn there, but it was just a good guess. But you know, that was really good. I like that touch from Cheese. Like, I like the touch, but I don't like the touch. You know, I like the idea of doing the touch here. It just seems like he messed up a little bit, which is okay. He definitely probably didn't mean for it to be that high. He's definitely trying to avoid Atomic, but we have a Daniel so close. This is okay, though, ultimately. I don't like jumping for it, though. You know, it's okay if this shit happens. You know, like, you're not always going to execute perfectly. You know, that's okay, right? This is okay, but you have to recognize when you're fucked. Like, you have to recognize, hey, I made a mistake and there's no getting out of it. I just got to play the situation after. And I feel like that would have been significantly better. We're kind of committing boosts and resources and positioning for no reason here. Now we're all the way over here, 47 boosts out of the play. There's value to be had. If we were grounded right now, we could go for demo on Atomic, bump on beast mode. You know, whoever. I mean, there's so much more value to be had. And we had teammates, so we didn't have to jump for that. You know, we're just trying to make up for mistakes that we don't need to because we have teammates. The only reason you would need to jump for something like that is if it was absolutely necessary, and it just wasn't in that situation, which is fine. I like that from NB. This is a really high touch. This is okay for Cheese. I think Cheese opting for a corner option, a backboard option, or just a really high pop is going to be really good here because they're not going to have anybody to play off of it immediately. Yeah, I mean, this could work. I do like MB coming in here. He's not going to be very sustainable. And when I said they're probably not going to get anything, you know, immediately they're not going to get anything, which is why I do like the touch. MB's going to have to, he probably beats Daniel here quite a bit. Yeah, that was good. That was well played by MB. And I like that a lot. I like the direction they were going with that. That's really risky from Justin. It's really unnecessary. Well, look at this. Yeah, no, this is dead. This is dead. We're just, you know, we're just not paying attention to Atomic at all. I think we're really underestimating Atomic and his positioning in the situation, how close he is to the ball. But let's say that Justin does get something out of this. To whom is he benefiting right now? Nobody. This is pushing the pace of the play. There's no need to be pushing the pace of the play right here because we don't have any options. And even if we do push the play, that's not going to lead to more options for us because we don't have any follow-up. So no follow-up in this situation is just really bad. The closest follow-up is actually Daniel, which is on the complete other team. So, you know, I don't... And luckily, you know, that touch is probably going to end up favorably for Gen.G. Probably don't score it. Or yeah, you're probably able to save it. I do like that counter attack by NRG though. That was played well. I like these looks by MB. You know, I've been saying this since my first MB video, the Gen.G videos. This shit is brilliant. You know, I really like the looks on the field. I think every player should be doing this. When I look at a player and they're not looking around the field like this, I immediately think of them as a lesser player. That's just how it is. MB is getting so much awareness of the field that he's able to better, you know, get information a lot better. So he's able to, you know, make better informed decisions, which is very apparent by a lot of the stuff that he does on the field. There's not many times that I look at MB and I'm like, wow, this is just completely ridiculous. You know what I mean? And he has such good awareness of everything around him. I still to this day think MB has much more potential even now. I mean, look at this. This is beautiful, dude. But how many players do you really see do this? Honestly, I mean, you see it in small amounts, but I mean, it's so consistent with NB. This is exactly how I envision a player with awareness playing, right? He is gauging that distance to cheese. He now knows how close is my teammate. How do I need to play this next play? Am I going to play it slow? Am I going to play it fast? Am I going to play it slow and then have an outlet because I know that my teammate is in this position and now he's going to be in this position because it's like you can get so much out of that. This is just wonderful. I mean, yeah, I like this. A calm probably came off here. Really, really passive from MB from a very early point of the situation, which means that she's probably already calmed it, which is a really good decision. Once again, I don't know exactly when they're calming. I can just guesstimate, and I feel like this is a really good situation. I really like what happened here. I don't mind with what Daniel's doing. You know, we saw something similar where it looked really silly to like go for something because they were so close. But in this situation, Daniel does have a fair chance of just getting a hand in there, which is good. And he's first up. He's going to have teammates behind him with boost. So this is okay. You know, I don't have a problem with this. We kind of don't want to let Gen.G like take possession on backboard because they're going to slow. They're going to slow the ball. They're going to get boost, get resources. Now, granted, that's going to allow NRG to come in, but I like this. You know, we're doing a little bit of disruption here, which is really good. I have no disagreements with this at all. You can see that does make it a little bit easier, but really good pop by Justin. Beast mode ending up going up. He's going to consume some boost to be able to do this, so I like this a lot. This is completely okay. Damn, okay. Fuck. I'm not going to lie. Beast mode just played that really well. Yeah. Dude, shout out Beast Mode. That was just played well. I really I don't understand. Okay. I know I was saying I don't really understand this though. This was a complete waste of positioning. Some people may look at this and be like, "Ah, wow, this is really small." It's like, "You're such a bitch. You're such a fucking hater, arrogant motherfucker." Listen to me, okay? Just actually listen to my words, okay? Him going in here even slightly, like imagine he just went this way and grabbed this pad. Immediately he got more value. Imagine he's already going and getting this pad right now. Immediately he already got more value. Okay, we cannot do little stuff like this. We can't look at little stuff like this and be like, yeah, no, that's negligible. You know what I mean? Like, no, every single, these are pro players, right? Every single little thing adds up. So every single little thing, you know, and here's the thing. This is something that we could have said, hey, you know what? I don't have any boost. That guy has a lot of boost. I'm just going to get the fuck out. Because you know what? Beast mode also doesn't care that MB is there. He doesn't care. He really doesn't. He was going to go up for that regardless of how close MB is because he's in such a good position to go for this. Any player in their right mind is going up for this instantly, no hesitation at all, without any regard for a player in front of them. Because it's so advantageous for this player. Like, Beast Mode read this perfectly. He executed it perfectly. I mean, it was brilliant. This was really well played by Beast Mode, but we had some problems with MB. Led to a lackluster defense. Could have had something more solid here with a bit more boost. You can see that 18. We feel a little awkward. We don't feel as confident when we have that boost. So this could be something like mental. And then Justin, it's just unfortunate. Honestly, MB should have played this before Justin, but Justin did play this a little bit high initially. I think he was just really expecting Beast Mode to go higher, but as soon as that touch went off a ceiling, going high is really stupid. Beast Mode played this perfectly, really. You know, I'm just gonna say that it's just a skill diff. It really was just a skill diff. Like, we can talk about, oh, Justin should have played lower, you know, whatever, bro. Like, Beast Mode just played it well, really. Beast Mode just played it well. This should be fine. I like that touch by MB, though. That's really good. I don't like this by Justin. He should have already known that boost was fucked. Like, that, I said noon. I just noticed that. What the fuck? Yeah, no, right now, that boost was shocked. Like, right now, we could have already been like, yeah, that boost is struck. Because Beast Mode got that touch. Like, Beast Mode could have recovered so easily. Like, as soon as this happened and he was on ground, like, Beast Mode was on ground and turned before Justin, like, you're just getting beat to that, like, 80% of the time. Like, not even 80. 99% of the time. The only way you don't get beat to that is if the other... Wow, okay. Is if the other person is just, like, not good. But of course, this is Beast Mode, and Beast Mode is fucking amazing. So, yeah, no, this is just really odd positioning by Justin. He's not really reading anything here. Like, going down is a terrible thing to do. We don't need to play down here. Like, playing down here is like assuming Daniel's just gonna hit it right in front of him, which is just a bit unrealistic. I feel like playing from this is good, like really good. And, you know, not to mention we have cheese playing the low, so we don't need to play low. Look at this. Why are we conflicting, right? Why are two players covering the same coverage? when one player could have been facing this way right now. And if he was facing that way, this is an easy save. It's just it's these moments where it's like, you know, I don't really know what's going on. I'm not sure, you know, like I know what they're doing, obviously, but I don't know why they're doing it. Like, I don't know why Justin is doing that in that situation. There doesn't seem to be anything that says or screams like, hey, I need to be facing down right now, especially if you know where your teammate is and you know the like options Daniel has. I just don't see you coming to that conclusion. I just don't. This is okay. This is okay. Ooh, that was really well played by Atomic. What in the fuck is going on? That was well played by Atomic. I like that. I actually like that boost grab. That's really good by Justin. I like this a lot. That's going to prevent... Oh, I like that immediate look for off-ball value. He can commit a little harder. Justin could have committed a little harder that. You know, we already got good disruption here. If we get Daniel, we're almost guaranteed to have an offense in the next, like, 5-10 seconds. Like, we're nearly guaranteed for that because, you know, NRG just can't be sustainable at that point. Atomic would have to like go so deep just to get some boost. But in this situation, it's like we just stole the boost from Atomic, so we know he's not going to be a reliable support. So if we take Daniel out, we're in peak position. But why are we not doing that? MB can handle a 1v1 by himself. You know what I mean? Like, we could still be going for Daniel right now. Like, MB can play this 1v1. You know what I mean? We don't have to go back and play this double support here. If Daniel is just pushed off of the play, there should be no problems here. You know what I mean? Like, there should be no issues. Maybe he ends up going for Daniel. No, he still doesn't. And because Daniel is there, Justin... I mean, Daniel didn't play that exactly how I wanted to, but if he did, you know, Justin was getting, like, beat there really, really bad. So that demo attempt should have happened way sooner. You know, if we look at it from Daniel, it's like... Why are we letting this guy live? Daniel's the threatening one in the situation, not beast mode. Like MB doesn't even have to be scared about this. You know what I mean? Look at this. MB's not fucking scared of this. If beast mode hits that as nut, he's gonna save it. If beast mode goes ground, he can play the 1v1. You know, the only reason he doesn't is because it looks like a comm came up for Justin, or Justin said he was gonna go for it because, you know, this is a very abnormal path for MB to play if he was gonna play the ball. So that's why I'm thinking that. It was just unnecessary. There's just no point in doing that. I don't really like when players cut for like no reason. You're kind of just using up turns. You're just using up resources for no reason. I like that a lot. I like how MB also decided like, hey, yeah, no, that's fucked, because it was fucked. That was a really good read here. Initially, this is nice. You know, I do like when players go off the ceiling. This can be really good. I feel like some players, especially NA players, specifically bubble NA players, they just go off the ceiling so fucking much. Like, so much for no fucking reason. And they just try and make it work every single time. This is an example of exactly how this should be played. He went up thinking, hey, maybe I can get something, saw that touch go over and was like, fuck no. That's how I should go every single time. I should never see a player still continuously go for the ball after that. Never. Really unfortunate from Cheese, but if Justin plays some pacing here, that'd be really good. Oh, yeah, brilliant. Just like I said, playing pacing, really, really good decision in this situation. He's going to allow Cheese to get grounded. We can see now Cheese is grounded. That's really good. Justin, really good 50 is there. Oh, I like what MB is going for. He's going to be a little awkward here. This is already not exactly what he wants. Like, I'm visioning what he's envisioning. And he wanted to definitely be able to follow that up afterwards. That would have been really good. He misplayed it. It seems like he still wanted to go for that follow-up that I was just referring to, but yeah, he was just forcing. He knew it would already be kind of tough when he was coming in to get that touch to actually get follow-up off of it afterwards. He tried to do it anyway. It just didn't work, you know, but it's whatever. Like, this is still okay. He's going to be in an okay position. Yeah, still able to get some value. That's good. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, I like that by Cheese. Is pretty cool. Nice. Justin, I don't really like that decision. Could have done something different there. You know, we'll talk about it a little bit. But it's unawareness. Just unawareness. You know, we could argue MB could have played in that lane a little bit more aggressive. This is just a lack of comms and a lack of awareness. Because, you know, I think in this situation, MB wants to play the potential threat from beast mode. And then Justin ends up getting it, and it just confuses MB. It's whatever, you know, shit happens. I like that MB is respecting the beast mode, even though there's not a solid follow-up immediately from Atomic. I still like the respect. You know, you got to respect people in this game. I feel like some people don't respect, and they just lose because of it. They just completely lose. Nice. I like this so far. MB, I like this. Let's look at this real quick. In this situation, a lot of players like to dodge under the ball. You can kind of see that's what NB was looking for, but he notices Daniel up there, and he knows if he does that, he's probably going to get fucking beat. So he decides not to do that. I don't like the extra air roll, but I do like the 50. Really good. Could have done without that extra air roll at the end there. Kind of just made it a little bit less consistent for ourselves. We could have got a better 50 out of that as well, or, you know, a better outcome. But, you know, it's okay. You know, this challenge from Justin is like, it was a bit but I don't disagree with it. Like, he's absolutely able to do something like this, but if beast mode would have played that differently and or had more boost, that could have been bad. If Justin knew how much boost beast mode had and knew it was going to be awkward and therefore he jumped, that's okay. If Justin just jumped because he saw him go off a backboard and that's it, that's bad. We have to have some intent based off of some variables that we're reading in the play to make these decisions actually good and not just pattern recognition or just autopilot. I don't like that from NB already. Whenever a player looks like this, like so late, I mean, we're just not reading something. Maybe this is mental. You know, like I said, this is the last game of the series, so you know, we could just be really trying to get in and get these opportunities. But, you know, I think what players sometimes don't understand, I'm not implying that NB doesn't understand this, by the way, but I think what players, you know, don't understand is that when we're talking like, oh, you know, if I play like aggressive, I'm going to get like some opportunities. That's not inherently true, right? You know, I play aggressive, I get opportunities. It's just not, it's not sound. You know, it's not always that way. You know what I mean? Because you can play aggressive and not get opportunities, right? And I think in this situation, the best thing to highlight is, you know, if MB would have just been like, you know, I'm kind of beat here and just zoned this area, we'd have presence to wall here when we don't previous. Or, you know, or we'd have, you know, wherever he wants to go, like he can stop here. You know, if the ball ends up going this way, he can go this way. But like, this is my point. This is my point. Like, look at this. Like in this situation, if he's just like, you know what, this is fucked and just slows and kind of sees where this touch is going to go, he can immediately, first of all, he could go for a demo on Daniel. Like, Daniel's fucking dead, guaranteed, because he's falling. There's not a damn thing he can do about it. MB could get that demo. MB could immediately zone this space, push this space, go for off-ball value, whatever. But instead, we see MB in corner, no boost, right? All because we tried to go for that play that wasn't guaranteed. It's just, you know, there's no point in doing that, because now we're actually going to lose aggression and lose pressure because we made that aggressive decision, right? So just because you make aggressive decisions doesn't mean that you're adding pressure. Sometimes making aggressive decisions actually makes you lose pressure, right? Because Justin is not going to be able to competently come in and do anything on this ball. We're going to see Justin play a little bit more passive here before anything. And you can see that's exactly what happened. I don't know why Justin did that. But, you know, initially, you're supposed to play the... I think he just freaked out. Yeah, he freaked out because he thought it was just going to be in the net. Which, once again... Look at Cheese. Cheese has been out this entire time. So, once again, what's the problem here? Justin is unaware. Because if Justin wasn't unaware, Justin could have just started dodging back right now, grabbing boost, you know, maybe be aggressive on beast mode and just let Cheese handle this. But now Cheese is in this like situation, which is not too great. Wait, what is going on? Okay, Justin. Okay, there was no point in doing that. He's not. He could have generated value in other places. This is okay. Yeah, okay. That's fine so far. I mean, it's whatever. I like that from Cheese. I like that slow from Justin, actually. He does have MB behind him. So, you know, I do agree with that. That was pretty good. MB, not bad. Trying to just do some basic follow-up. That's okay. Okay, Justin taking a little bit of time playing some pacing. I don't disagree with this at all. That was good. Cheese. Let's look at Cheese real quick. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, a lot of boost here. He's gonna try and play off the wall. I see what he's going for. Going for a little cheeky ceiling to reset to whatever the fuck. But I like this. This could be played well. Wait, what? Wow. I mean, I don't really have anything to say about that. I don't know. You know, I've always been a Justin fan. Always loved Justin. He, maybe this is just this game. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Oh, man, what is going on? Wait. Okay. Oh, okay. This might still end up in a goal. Okay. Okay. Anyway, yeah. I've always been a fan of Justin. Love Justin, but he's just not looking very good in this game. I think the last video I did on Justin, he looked a bit better, but I don't know. Maybe it's a mental thing. I have no idea. There's so many different variables that could be going into it that I am just unaware of. But, just strictly gameplay, I don't know, man. We're just not doing too good in this game at the very least. Maybe he put out a better, yeah. I mean, it's just consistent. It's consistent. This is like, this just absolutely, you just can't do this. Like, we have no boost, we leave our teammates in a really, really awful position by doing that. We could have just played that more patient. There was no need in playing that fast like that. Oh my goodness, wait. This is, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be mean, but wow, yeah, no, everything's falling apart. The next goal, just 100%. Like this, first, we're not getting the value on Daniel. Didn't get value on Daniel. Didn't get value on beast mode. Jump up, try to no. I disagree with this. Maybe he's still trying to fit in with the team and how they want to play. Maybe he's making some changes right now. Those could be possibilities. But so far, I just, this is not a very good performance at all from Justin. I will say though, Cheese, looking a lot better than the last time I saw him. He's really popping out recently, or at least from what I've seen right now. I like how Cheese is playing. I like how NB is playing as well. NRG is playing good as usual. I don't have any qualms with them. Yeah, no, Justin's doing way too fucking much. This is not how you play off-ball value at all. This is how you play off-ball value in Snow Day, I would say. But you can't do this in an RLCS match against NRG of all teams. It's just not going to work, dude. NRG is very aware of the concept of off-ball value and how to play it. And Justin is just looking for opportunities all the time. It just doesn't work like that. Okay. Yeah, no, this is messy. Wow, okay. I get what he was going for there. I'm not saying wow, okay, because of that. It's just I really did not expect this performance. I don't know. It's got to be mental. It's got to be. Because earlier this game, even this, just this game alone, not even a series, he wasn't really playing like this. But for the last, minute and a half, 2 minutes, it's just been really rough. NRG has tons of pressure right now, and Justin keeps consistently throwing his turn. Consistently. We just are never going to get anything by doing this. Never. It's never happening. Nice. He could get a beat here. Yeah, really good. I like that a lot. Cool. MB just needs to play pacing. That's wow. Yeah. Oh, wow. What the? Oh, it said they left. Oh, these titles go hard. Yeah. No, I will say I don't like how well Justin looked in this game. I'm not going to say that Justin is bad right now or playing bad. Well, I say he's playing bad in this game 100%, but this may just be this game thing. Maybe he played better over the course of the series. Maybe he played better in other series. I haven't looked at enough to really determine that, but what I can tell just off of this game alone is he's definitely trying to get used to some changes. They're definitely going to come back stronger, I would say. Next time, I feel like Justin's really going to get some of that because, obviously, I look pretty highly upon Gen.G, the coaching staff at Gen.G. I look pretty highly on NRG. I think this was a good match, but it could have been a better match, really. I'm kind of disappointed watching the game just because of how Justin played. It's just, I feel disappointed. I already really, don't like watching RLCS because sometimes you just, but sometimes you see good games, and I was hoping that this would just be a better game. A good performance out of Cheese, MB, Atomic, Beast Mode, Daniel. Shout out Justin, though. I feel like he's just trying to get used to some changes. Yeah, I don't know all of the things that are going on behind the scenes, but I hope everything is going well for him and all of the people in this game. If you guys enjoyed the video, have any questions about anything I talked about in the video, want a specific video, please leave it in the comment section below. I love you guys. Appreciate you guys being patient with me. I will see you guys in the next one.